Welcome to Crimson Guitars and welcome to a short tutorial in people dropping things in the background. This is a trick that everybody knows about and a lot of people talk about and use, but not something I've actually seen in video yet. And as I am in the middle of building this instrument and at this stage I thought, what the hell, I'll film it. This is going to be a short one. How to use locating pins when you are fitting a fretboard and why. Honestly, for the first decade of my life, I did not bother. Just this, what's the point? Line it up with your nut line, put the glue on, clamp it, double check your center lines, and you're sorted. Which is, in that time, I built something like 100, 120 odd guitars, and I had to remove one fretboard because I did that, because it misaligned itself while the glue was curing. So those several hours that I messed up could have been saved if I had just pinned the fretboard down. Now, a lot of people use cocktail sticks or nails to do that. And frankly, I found something that we have a lot of, and which I am absolutely certain, and the dimensions of which I am absolutely certain. Something was grammatically wrong there. Anyhow, little 2mm side dot inlay material, or 1.5mm if that's what you use. In fact, 1.5mm would be better. Okay, once you are certain that your fretboard is in the right place, and if you're doing small production runs, this is perfectly fine. Drill a hole straight through the fretboard inside of one of the frets. The fret itself will cover the hole and it will be perfectly fine. But basically drill through into the fretboard, into the neck blank. And I tend to do this as close to the center as I can so that we're just being absolutely safe about not drilling into somewhere where we're going to carve. Now, if you are going to use pins, metal nails or something like that, you take the fretboard off, put your nail in the neck blank, and that will sit there and it'll all work. There is an alternative, and that is, because I've now drilled my holes and lost my inlay material, I use this little 2mm thick inlay material, and we have the same principle, but it's softer. Now with nails, you can sometimes have an issue with the fact that it is metal, both discoloring your wood if you've got something that's particularly reactive, or basically just hurting yourself, which isn't ever a nice thing. Okay, so chop that off a little bit higher than it should be, and then we've got another one down this end. And then once we've put our glue on, it is simply a case of locating the pins, which isn't necessarily simple, and hammering it through. And nothing will move. Anyway, I am going to just very quickly glue this up. Now, I've got my masking tape, which is covering the frets, the truss rods, so that we don't have any spooge. I've just ripped the top off my glue bottle. That's terrible. And now it's not working. On film, I'm so embarrassed. These things are sent to try us. All right, bit of glue, and I'm just going around. Now the masking tape might possibly degrade over time. However, it's not taking up much more room than the truss rod channel itself, and as such, we've still got a huge gluing surface. In fact, violins and cellos and things like that luthiers who build those actually, on the underside of the fretboard, carve away a slight relief. So in the middle of the fretboard, or down either side of the center, they carve away a dish where it's hollowed out, so there's a smaller gluing surface. I'm not entirely sure why. Anyhow, now the tops of these little bits, this is the one thing with a nail, it tends to be slightly sharper. What I tend to do, if I can ever find one, is just file it to a point very quickly and easily, and then put the file down somewhere where it doesn't belong, and then let's try and see what's happening. Locate, and that is in position and good to go. Now, the reason I like using plastic or wood, at least rather than metal, is that I can just snip that off down to size, and it's not going to get in the way of my clamping core. Okay. Now, the most important thing is to not trust yourself at all. Once you've got a couple of clamps on and you think you're good to go, double check yourself. And we have a look at how straight it is, make sure nothing's moved. And on the side I've got little marks telling me where the frets should be, where the 12th fret should be. And only when we are absolutely 100% certain of everything else do we put more clamps on. This clamping cord is quite interesting. It's just using 2 strips of cork down the outside, and it puts more pressure on the outside of the neck, the outside of the fretboard at least, than on the inside, and follows the camber of, oh, that needs oiling. It follows the camber of the fretboard. And it looks like I need to make more. So there we have it. I'm going to come in now and clean up the excess glue, but to all intents and purposes, well, actually I've got another one. I'm going to show you a close-up of what the end result is. Here's another neck I'm working on, just about to do the inlays, and there is where the locating pin was, and it's basically just disappeared. Let's have a close-up. So it's both underneath the fret slot and invisible, and black, therefore invisible. Where's the other one? There we go. Bang in the middle of the screen. So, hey, look at that. Flamed purple heart. Chippy as hell, but it's going to be pretty awesome. There we have it, a fairly simple process, fairly easily done, but if that fretboard had slipped and I only noticed after it had been glued on, it would need to be removed, which you use heat and steam and all that jazz if you're using the right glue. Gone are the days when I used polyurethane glue, because that stuff don't want to come off. But even so, when you remove a fretboard with heat and glue, it bows up, and it's a nightmare, and it's a waste of your time. A simple, easy, cheap, quick little trick: use locating pins, put your fretboard on, and you have no problems. Anyway, this has been Ben at Crimson Guitars. This has been another tutorial. Check out everything else that we've done. I've got 350 odd plus videos, I think, coming up too. If you have any questions for the podcast, then please put them in the comments below. If you have any comments on how you would do this any better than I have, different methods, cocktail sticks, I nearly said chopsticks, kebabs, or making your own dowel, I don't know. There are methods to use with templates that work quite well. Frankly, every single guitar we do is different, and I just put them in there. So please let me know what you think, and if you have any better methods, please share, because this is all about learning for us as well as helping you guys out. Please click like, please click subscribe. We're coming up on 50,000 subscribers, which is absolutely mental. And there's going to be a giveaway at some point. But anyway, look, have an awesome time. Go make some dust, glue a few fretboards on, and make some guitars. Have fun. Goodbye.